Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new series here on the channel. In fact, introducing an entirely new game to the channel. It is, of course, the recently released Crusader Kings 3. The critics have spoken, the people have spoken, and I must say, they're not wrong. This game is absolutely fantastic. I highly suggest it to anyone interested in the genre. I could go on and on about all the things that I love about this game, but that is not what we're here for. No, we're here to kickstart a Let's Play series filled with captivating storylines, drama, intrigue, and yes, perhaps even a little war from time to time. Now, while this is my first playthrough here on YouTube for CK3, I've actually got a pretty good amount of experience in the game already, having tried out a few different playthroughs while streaming the game on Twitch. In fact, recently, I did a very fun run with Bjorn Ironside here as the Duke of Upland, taking over all kinds of land, formulating Scandinavia. We're almost all the way to forming Great Britain. It was a really fun run. I highly suggest that one. A lot of fun indeed. Also, tried out the fate of England a little bit and started off our very first run, in fact, was King of Scotland. And it didn't turn out all that great. Actually, a bit of a learning curve on that one, and a lot of lessons learned, and definitely one I'd like to return to in the near future. We also tried out some rags to riches stories. We did a fun little run up in here for a while as the Duke of Munster and made Ireland, kind of learned some things in there. Had a really nice extensive run in Bohemia as the Duke of Vratislav of Premuslid. We actually had a lot of really cool storylines with our family and heritage and took over a lot of land all over the place. And it was good times. A really fun run as well. And we even spent a little time intriguing over the Iberian Peninsula here as King Alfonso VI killed a brother to the east, killed a brother to the west, formulated a nice little dynasty in here. It was a short little run. Didn't spend a lot of time. The intrigue is really cool. The killing is very easy with King Alfonso. And had a lot of fun with this run, but it was a brief one. It was actually just before, I think, the first update happened, and it kind of killed our game. But it was fun, and definitely one I would like to return to as well. But today, we are going to the 867 time start, and we're going to the Great Adventurers. Every dynasty comes from humble beginnings. The climb to power is usually a slow process, each generation moving a few steps up the ladder through carefully planned marriages and ceaseless wars. But these are times of great change and upheaval. With a lot of courage and maybe a little luck, a hero might raise their family name from obscurity to legend. Are you ready to take the challenge? Well, you bet we are. And as you may have guessed from the title or the thumbnail or whatever from coming into this series, we are going to be checking out Daurama Daura, the Countess of Daura. She is the last Magagia of Daura. Daurama is a symbol of the old ways of the Hausa people. Her new husband, Bayezida, originally from Iraq, represents change as more and more outsiders flock to Hausaland, bringing their strange face and cultures with them. Daurama is set to go down in history as the last Magajiva. But does she have to be? Well, she does not have to be, and she will not be if we have anything to say about it. Let's get started. I am so excited to bring you a fun and intriguing run here for CK3. Now, just to give you an idea of my overall plan for the series, I am looking to completely embrace the characters and really kind of follow along the storyline and not worry too much about, perhaps worrying about making our borders bigger all the time and always trying to grow, but embrace the storylines and embrace the characters and really enjoy the things that are happening within the game. So that is the plan going forward. So let's take a look at what we've got, who we are, and where we're headed. So this is her right here, the High Chiefess Daurama of Kano. And she has a husband here who is the High Chieftain, Bayezida? the Slayer of the Snake of Cano. And so actually we hold this top section up here of Daura, and he is actually in control of this southern section here in Cano. And so it's kind of interesting because we're not in each other's court. We just kind of a power couple, if you will. And we, of course, follow different versions of the same religion, and there's a lot of intrigue going on here. We have a son, so he actually has 3 sons, I believe. 3 sons here, and there is this one son here that they have in common, but he is actually of the house Daurama, which is the husband, and so is not part of our dynasty. But if you take a look up here, it shows you here no player heir of our dynasty. So what we're going to have to do in this playthrough is sort out a way to get, well, an heir, if you will. We do have a half sister here as well, and we'll be able to figure out some different ways to try and create a dynasty, if you will. So that's the plan. Let's take a look here at some of our options. We have diplomacy as our lifestyle strength, if you will. We have a 30% gain of experience because she is, in fact, what is it called? Let's just take a quick look here. Charismatic negotiator. She got a 3-star charismatic negotiator education, which gives her the advantages of a 30% boost to diplomacy. And what I'd like to do is I'm going to go family focus to start, I think. I was considering going with the bonus prestige, but the family focus for the fertility, we want to have some children. We want to have, if anything, a few children. But certainly, that's going to be our choice. So we're going to go there. And then I think what we'll do is we'll probably finish moving down August and getting that trade ability there, which gives us some extra diplomacy and martial and prestige and stuff like that. And there's some pretty good bonuses that we can get in there. And then the family hierarch is also one I'm considering. Gives you some nice boosts to your children's abilities and stuff like that. And some random skills and stuff for having friends and children in that. So it's going to make us really, really strong to do these two. And the matriarch ability could eventually become decently valuable, as fertility was good as well. So, and some opinion and stuff. Now, what's interesting is that even though we haven't done this tree at all, this diplomat tree, to get the diplomatic bonus, we actually have, if you take a look here, the diplomat ability of plus your diplomacy. And you combine that with mystic and charismatic negotiator, we have ourselves quite the little set of abilities. Other than intrigue, which we are really quite bad at, because all of our really fine characteristics, just, honest, and trusting, all hurt us on the intrigue side. So what could have been 10 is in fact just 1. And what really hurts there is that we actually don't have the ability to have our spouse over here, which we could have done an intrigue focus to help out with the intrigue on that side. But because he's in his own court, we don't actually have anybody to put in there. So that is not all that great, in fact. So what are we going to do about that? Well, for one thing, I would definitely like to have a really good spy master and someone who's hopefully disrupting schemes. So we have down here, I think we'll keep that at 15. Is there anybody as a potentially higher? We don't have a very good steward, which kind of sucks. We have a good marshal. And we have a pretty good chancellor. I don't think there's any adjustments to be made here. We are really quite lacking over here, which is interesting as our court chaplain. So overall, this kind of sucks, but what are you going to do? It is what it is, I guess. Now let's take a look at a few other things. Let's take a look quickly at our religion, the Hausa faith of the... my bad. The Hausan faith of the Bori religion. And it's really quite a progressive type religion, if you will. The sins are arrogant, deceitful, and craven. We have humble, honest, and brave as virtues, as well as possessed and wise woman. We have pluralist and theocratic, as well as equal gender roles. We have marriage doctrines, legitimization, a divorce always allowed, cousins for marriage between cousins is allowed, crime doctrines, same-sex marriage accepted, deviance accepted, super progressive there. Adultery, though, on both sides of the aisle are very criminal, as well as kinslaying, and witchcraft, completely and fully accepted, if not embraced. Clerical gender is only women, which is pretty cool, and clerical appointment, temporal, and revocable, which is nice. And clerical functions, recruitment, and clerical marriage allowed. So there's that. And as you can see up here, we've got esotericism, which can give increased piety, edoricism, +2 piety a month makes the following virtues possessed. So if you're possessed, that's actually a good thing. And ritual celebrations is pretty cool because it forces people to come along or take a piety hit. And those feasts earn you piety as well. And then holy sites, we actually are right on top of one of the holy sites here. The Holy Site of Daura, monthly prestige per night +2%, and night effectiveness +10%. So that's really nice to have that right out of the gate. And we could potentially start working our way towards gaining more of those as the playthrough continues. All right, well, we're over 10 minutes in, and we've still done practically nothing. Let's try to get something done. So one thing I wanted to do is, it says up here, if you take a quick look, we can take a consort. And I'm just taking a look here, and we have a champion, chancellor. They don't have any inheritable traits. There's only 3 options right now, unfortunately. I don't know. Lazy, arrogant. You know what? Let's go ahead and let's take this one, just so we have one in place anyway. Having kids is going to be important in this run. We have our half-sister here who can get married, and it'd be kind of interesting to see if we can get some sort of an alliance out of that, maybe. We have some characters down in here. Let me organize by prestige gain for my half-sister here. This guy's very interesting here. High intrigue and learning. Oh, he's deceitful, which is not good. But he does have diligent. Craven's not good either. So neither one of these is a very good option. But we're not worried too much about that. It's just our half-sister. Let's not worry about too much about that. What I would like to take a look at is whereabouts he is. Which is down here. Actually, it's not too far away. Oyo. And if we were to select him, she would actually gain a little bit of prestige out of this. And it is, of course, matrilineal marriage. It's kind of interesting. Children of this marriage will go into the House Daura. So, something to do with the very female-dominated society in this area. And, of course, we've got the equal in the faith, but also female-only for the church. And by default, the matrilineal marriages are popping up, which is kind of interesting. So we're going to go ahead and accept that marriage. It should kick in an alliance for us, which should be pretty good. The other thing I want to take a look at is we have the option of going to some wars, and I wanted to take a look at a couple of these options just to kind of really quickly expand our space just a little bit. We do have 2 out of 4 on our domain limit, so we could actually potentially grab another domain or 2 in order to increase our strength early before settling into the role of Daura. So, there's 2 options here. There's this one here, which is, we have the option of taking this Kebi, like that. Or the other option could be Gobir up here, which is, we could potentially conquer this county up in here. And they're actually vastly inferior, as you can see here, only 290. So we, with our strength of 866, could potentially do quite well there. Now, I'm curious about our champions. We have a 15, a 14, a 13, a 10, a 9, and a 9. We have pretty good, actually, champions there. Kilia, my marshal and champion. She kicks ass at 15, 14. We can recruit this one, and I definitely think this is worth it for 3 gold. We'll recruit him, and that's actually going to give us a 13 there as well. So 15, 14, 13. It's nice to have them all at least double digits, and I don't want my sister. So we're going to forbid my sister. So that's 15, 14, 13, 10. Now we have a 9 and an 8. And it includes my man and my chancellor. 9. And then it gets really low down here. I'm considering, we have a decent amount of prestige. I'm considering inviting champions and getting us some really good knights. Because these are good, but I'd love a couple big ones, you know? I'm going to go ahead and forbid him. And what I'm actually going to do is I might go in here and invite champions. What's that cost? 150 prestige. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Spend some of that prestige. We don't have a lot of gold to spend on inviting, but hopefully enough. Hopefully enough. We've already spent 3 gold on that one. So the marriage should come through. We can get it. We're ready for our wars. We don't have anywhere near the prestige, I don't think, to get men-at-arms to any extent. We could get like maybe a small amount, like maybe grab some light footmen or something like that, but it's a little bit tight on the prestige, I feel. What kind of territory are we running in here, by the way? It's drylands. Drylands, yeah, a lot of flat, open drylands. So, in this case, 4 men-at-arms, if you were to do them, I'm thinking light horse would probably be really good. Yeah, horsies would be really strong on there. And they're expensive. So, I feel as though, I don't know. Do we want to start paying for them right from the beginning? We have a couple wars it would help with, but I think we win the wars anyway. Sahel Horsemen. These are, what are these, unique to us, perhaps? Sahel Horsemen. Light cavalry. Sahel Horsemen counters these types, archers and heavy infantry. And they're actually in Oasis, Desert, Floodplains, and Drylands. So yeah, I think those are very specifically for us here. I'm curious about on our... down in here in Hausa, in our religion here. Yes, there you go. Culture and regional. The Sahel horsemen can be recruited as men-at-arms known to the houses. Yes, so they're specific to our particular culture. As a dry and arid plain where vast distances are often covered with horses, the Sahel riders are mounted warriors who use light quilted armor and javelins to devastate their enemies. They are quick and can easily brave deserts and drylands. So those are going to be the ones we want to focus on. And what are they going to go for? They're going to go for 210. Whoa. And then, of course, we'll have to pay prestige per month. And we're at 1.7 plus. So if they're up, we're cutting that down as well. I think we're definitely going to want to get those soon, but I'm going to wait, I think. And what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to go ahead and hit play, I think. Because if we don't hit play during the first video, that's going to get pretty depressing. Is there anything else we wanted to look at? We've taken a look a little bit at our faith and our culture. What are we focused on, by the way? Are we the head of the culture? Culture head? No, we are not. So we're just going ahead and taking what we've got. Crop rotation, Cassus belly. Okay. Onagers, they're focused on barracks right now. I like the Onager idea. I mean, we're talking a long ways away before I need to get done anyway, so it's not that big a deal, but interesting to look at. Council, I don't think there's much we can do. If we took a quick look here, we've got no options here better than that. Lousy 7. We have no options better than that 9 for our steward. Intrigue, same idea. Marshal, nothing better. Chancellor, nothing better. So they've done a good job of putting in the right people in the right places there. Now, this is where it's interesting. I love the idea of increasing development. I just think long term it's really great to be able to get those increases. But this guy's not very good. This gal, I should say. And if we were to put that in there, we're looking at 18 years just to go up 1 level. The other option, of course, is to switch to gold. And if we just do gold, we're looking at 4.5% domain taxes. Well, per month, 4.5% is pretty small when we're only getting 1.6. Like, it's literally less than 0.1. So it's really not going to be all that valuable right now. So is it perhaps worth early on going ahead and getting a level of development? Because I don't think any area in here's got too much development. Although this one's actually got 8. This one's got 7. But our capital... Oh, our capital is actually development 7 as well. Oh, okay, wait a minute. I thought I must have... Did I screw that up? Increased development, 18 years. 18 years seems forever, but we're just not getting that much gold either. I think I'm going to try this. I'm going to go with some increased development. I think I am going to do that. And other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot else to take a look at. I just wanted to show you real quickly. So we're, of course, at level 1 for authority. Our succession law is equal at the moment. And succession law, Confederate partition, potentially wanting to increase or to adjust this. Confederate partition really does kind of suck. High partition. Limited crown authority to change it to high partition. One of these definitely could be something we can take a look at. But that's well into the future. And yeah, our domain overall quite small. We're just getting started. We are not very big, but I'm going to go ahead and press play and let this thing unfold in front of us. All right, alliance has been formed. The wedding is going. I gladly accept your marriage proposal. My sister, or half-sister in this case, will marry his brother and will join in holy matrimony. Excellent. Excellent indeed. So we have the war options in the future. We have recruit men-at-arms in the future. We are gaining a little bit of gold at a time here, and hopefully soon we are going to... Oh, what's going on here? What's in a name? For generations, Houseland has been ruled by the Magagia, a line of matriarchal, that's a tough one, rulers, of which I am the latest. Our traditions have served us well, but the world is changing. The heroic deeds of my husband, Bayajida, have earned him great wealth and respect, though, as he hails from distant lands, his successes also portend great change for my people. My son, Bawo, there he is right there, is the apple of his father's eye, though a mere babe. I wonder if he will identify more with his adventuring father or my own traditional legacy. So, looks like we've got some options here. Bawa must carry the traditions of the Hausa into a new age, where he will become my heir and become part of the House of Daura, and High Chieftain our husband will lose some opinion for a little while. The next option, my son is my own, whatever the name or culture. My son is my son, whatever the name or culture. So then in that case, he stays with the father, but I won't have an heir. And then the other option is you get the law female preference. Bawo becomes a part of the House Daura, but gains the trait disinherited. So he will become in our name, but he will not be able to inherit because it's female preference. And so I guess my sister would take over in that case. So he'll get disinherited. So he won't be all that happy about that in the future. But hey, he's a little baby. My sister, of course, thinks he would become my primary heir. I think I like this because the whole roleplay that I have in mind for this game is the ladies of Daura, this whole line of succession. The female dominance in Africa is kind of my thought for this playthrough. So let's go ahead and embrace that role and go with this female preference. Just like that. Your sister, Shawata Daura, is your new player heir. Fantastic. Just like that, things are happening. Now, I do believe we just got, holy cow, a new champion has arrived. I hope we can afford him. Just barely, but he's a 28. How old is he? 40 years old? Whew. He will kill lots of people for us. Let's go ahead and grab him and hope that the next ones are not nearly as expensive because we don't have any gold. All right, there you go. Once we have our knights in place, 28, 15, 14, 13, forbidden 9, forbidden 8, 4, and 3. But we have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there's another one that's from court that's an 8? Or is that... No, that's just the one that we could recruit. Just happened to show up. I'm not really worried about spending gold on that. Pregnancy! A child is growing in my womb. My consort Ale will be proud. Interesting. We have gained the trait pregnant. I guess the husband should have been more on the ball about getting the baby in there. Now the consort is getting the job done. Loss of control. The control level of Chiefdom of Daura changed by -20. Your steward's poor stewardship. Oh. Already paying the penalty for having a crap steward. He's Louise. Still no more champions have arrived. As time goes by. Here we go. Champion has arrived. It's a lovely lady with... not bad. 12. And we can afford very nicely. So 28, 15, 14, 13, 12. If we can eliminate downwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right now the 9 is the lowest. And if we can get him out of there and get another one, I wouldn't mind getting another one like maybe in the high teens or something like that if we can afford it. I feel like that would be pretty good indeed. These guys have brought up their troops. What is this? Is that raiding? Yeah, it's some raiders going on right there. Okay. So, once we get one more champion in here, we're going to go to war and get started. I think what I'll do is I'll start maybe with this guy. Go in here. If we could ever take like both of these and really kind of give us a little bit of an extra stronghold, get ourselves kind of as big as our husband, if you will, and just increase a little bit. I'm not looking, like I said, to just do constant wars and just spam our color all over the map. But getting ourselves to our full holdings early on feels like a really good idea. So we'll declare a war. We can fabricate a claim, recruit men at arms, which I think I am going to start working towards. Probably by the time we get to the second war at the latest. Here we go. Your newborn son is your new primary heir. What? Okay, so I guess... That's interesting. Okay. So, my relief is great and my joy even greater. I have given birth to a perfect little son. One day, child, you will carry on my legacy. What name would befit such a mighty lord? Yama. I like it. Got some prestige out of that. What I am intrigued about, however, champion has arrived. Please be affordable but good. Nice. High teens. Can afford. Perfect. 28, 18, 15, 14, 13, 12. So our 6 champions are all quite good indeed. Get rid of that. Now, what that interestingly tells me, I'm just curious. So I have 2 sons. I'm curious as to why the younger son... I'm curious why they have this son as disinherited. I assume that was because they went with the female preference, but then my sister should have kept that, and a new son is now taking it. I'm curious as to why that is. I'm assuming that the female preference, women take precedence over men in succession. Female rulers can have consorts of multiple spouses if their faith has the consorts and concubines or polygamous doctrine. I'm just kind of curious as to why the half-sister doesn't take precedence over this son, but did take preference over the first son. I don't really know what I'm missing there. If anybody knows, let me know in the comment section. I don't know. But I'm assuming a daughter would take over everyone. So hopefully we'll have a daughter here before too long. I am going to wrap it up there, though. That's been episode 1 of our really fun Daura. What is it? It's High Chief Daurama. Daurama of Daura. And when we come back, we're going to go to war and have all kinds of fun, taking over some land and seeing if we can't get ourselves a daughter and improve our diplomacy even greater. that'll be next time, folks. Thank you very much for being here. Do not forget again to hit that like button. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.